over here, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, so because I wanted that way I could pick my
Mhm.
There we go. See how my computer's picked up.
Mm, okay. Add a title. Go live.
Yes. Well, yeah, not yet. Because I'm looking at the Facebook one. I still got to click on the.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
there. No, I clicked on it. I'm there.
okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Oh, there's nothing else for me to do, right?
okay, so now we're live on my pages. Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Wanda God's Bread of Watching Wanda's World, and I'm coming to you impromptu with my friend and fellow colleague and fellow Baltimore City College classmate, and we're both podcast hosts. Her name is Tyese Woodson. We have been sitting here all evening trying to fix. It says the stream standby. We are trying to resolve. We have been sitting by all evening trying to figure out different things to do to make both of our podcasts better, to bring you better content, shooting ideas off of each other. Thais has some exciting news. She just got a new gig, so to speak, and she's already a published author. And Thais, what's the name of your poetry book?
The poetry book is called "I Am Woman"
I Am Woman. So, and where can they purchase this book?
on my Etsy store.
Okay, I can give them the information.
The Etsy store can actually be found on www.emeraldmindandbody.com. And that's a
Okay.
link tree, so it'll, of course, link you to a couple of things that I do.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And also, Thais is a mental health counselor, a substance abuse counselor. And if they're in need of your services, how do they reach you? Is that also through something that they can find through your link tree?
They actually can, yes, can connect with me through the link tree. They can actually send me an email. They can connect with me on Instagram, send a message.
So give all of your information, the email address that they would reach you at.
Everything is Emerald Mind and Body.
Emerald Mind and Body if you need her services.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Thais has a podcast called The Tyese Show. Thais is that actually introduced me into the podcast world. She invited me on her show. And we were on the same network. We're now both one woman shows. And you know, the network had its season and it did what it was supposed to do. But God is taking us in new directions and opening new doors.
Mm-hmm.
And we have greater things in store for us. And I feel like going on our own is taking away any limitations that we might have had with the network. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely.
So
And everything has its pros and cons.
exactly.
But there's definitely something to be said about honing your craft and learning the intricacies of the business yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
since we are, as you said, one woman show, now we have to learn all of the backstage. We
Right.
have to learn the finer details. Like, for instance, ways to keep from having different like issues in your technical difficulties in your
Right.
production and your engineering, so to speak. Also, that that's the back end of it. That have just to have a standard background. Wrong with that. Um, what I like to go is with my learned graphics. So I like to add all the bells and whistles, so to speak. So, but it allows you to appreciate, be able to kind of work within really your passion. This is a passion
Exactly.
for me. Of course, all of the content now, as we're one woman show, are is on us. So we get to decide what type of content we want, and that content should not really be what we want to do, but it should be what the our target audience calls for.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And it's challenging, but overcoming the challenges is very pleasing. It's very self-fulfilling to me.
Mm-hmm.
It can be frustrating when you're trying to figure something out and it seems to just be eluding you. The answer seems to be eluding you. But once you figure, it's just this pleasure in knowing that you did it yourself,
Oh yes,
that
exactly.
and that um nobody can take that knowledge from you,
Mm-hmm.
like learning those things that didn't we didn't know before. And it's really gratifying, wouldn't you say?
Oh, most definitely. Most
Yeah,
definitely. It's a business. See, the thing is, it's not a hobby for us.
exactly.
Okay. You want your voice. If you want your voice to be heard, podcasting is a great way to do it. You can stream live like we're doing now. So can be recorded. Okay, and then uploaded later.
Mm-hmm.
At a later date on a different channel, things like that. So there's so many avenues to take, but it allows you to have your voice heard. It allows you to spread a message, whatever that message may be, to the masses. There and people will find you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find you organically. You want to make sure that the content that you're putting out body, okay,
Amen.
and
Yes.
and and because of that, those things like keywords, different things like that matter because when people are searching, then this type of content, then they'll be able to find you. But it's and so we work, some early mornings, sometimes some late nights, and but it only allows us to personally develop and grow.
Exactly. I couldn't agree. Like, definitely become a passion to me. I try to empower, uplift, support, motivate, inspire someone, to let people struggles, um, that we try to provide resources when we can. And if the resource, even if we are the resource, just letting people know that you are not alone is a
Exactly.
powerful thing, because so many people suffer through things or go through things in silence,
Hmm.
and they have this need or to appear perfect. And my inbox, people saying, I'm so glad to know that I'm not the only one, or I thought that XYZ, or so to be able to be in a positive way to someone is very to my spirit,
Hmm.
especially when, I don't profess to be perfect by any means. I'm very authentic. I'm very just like it just is what it is. But when I can encourage someone and bring a spotlight to someone that maybe turned their life around, someone, entrepreneurs, and let people know that, hey, this business is out there, this black owned business, it has a quality product, and they give
Exactly.
excellent customer service, and you know or the food tastes real good and I ain't have to wait 3 hours and I ain't find any hair in it, or whatever the case may be. So, Thais, tell us about your new venture that you're getting ready to embark on.
Now, you mean the show with the
Yes.
okay? So the part of the Tyese show, and now the I and if you have not seen the show previously, the new show launching, and so the content has not changed. The tagline for the show is what we do for therapy, and I do exclusive interviews for entrepreneurs of all types, people that own organizations that are tied to mental health are great to be on the show, because then we can provide a lot of resources for the for the viewers. I interview performing artists. I've even interviewed fashion designers, DJs, and through
Makeup
research,
artists.
makeup artists. Exactly. And but the key is that they have to be willing to come on the show and be transparent about their journey and what type of trials and tribulations they have been through. And that way, people can be motivated and inspired to see how they were able to get where they are today. And with that, that allows them to see that, again, like you said, they're not alone and they can do it too.
Amen.
So it's meant to be motivational and inspiring, just like your show.
I love the mental health component of yours. Of course, I'm not degreed or I'm not an expert in that. I try to be uplifting, and my quote unquote mental health part of it is just from my own personal experiences, whereas you're the professional. So I try to steer clear of claiming a mental health component, but anything that I've gone through and overcome, or that I can offer my personal experience, I'm always willing to share. And that seems to be enough for some people. Just like I said, just, and a lot of times people want to get to know you better. You guys know that I'm a chronic pain sufferer, and one thing, that's another thing that has connected me to so many people, podcasts or on my makeup lives, because there are other people. My therapy is my makeup, and that's how I escape the thought of just concentrating on pain all the time. XD voice privacy contents have been So my
Sorry.
therapy, that's okay. My therapy is makeup. So when I do my makeup lives, and I know guys, I haven't done them in a while because I've been in so much pain, and I've had a lot of lifing. But I promise you, I am going to get back to it. But I don't want to get back to it until I'm in a better place physically. But at the same time, I connect with people on so many levels. The love of makeup, um, we just vibe off of each other's personalities. That's another thing. Like, I have met so many people online that I truly love, and I've never set eyes on them in person. And it's a shame to say a lot of more support from people that you met online than you do from people that you actually know in person.
This is true. And you want to know why that happens, though?
Please enlighten me.
Because when your family and your friends, okay,
Mm.
they've known you for a long time and they have seen where you've been. However, because they have been so intimately, so intimate in knowing and seeing where you've been, they don't allow themselves to see where you're going.
Mm. So they're holding me
So,
hostage to my past, is basically what you're saying.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty
holding you
much.
hostage to your
Hmm.
past. But I evolve every day. I'm not the same woman that I was yesterday. So if you're looking at me and you're saying, oh, what Wanda used to do, baby, if you can talk about Wanda from 12 hours ago, she's not the same.
And exactly, because within that time, you did something to personally develop. Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So people will do that. They will look at your past and they don't see a vision for your future. And that's okay because you have your vision. Okay.
Amen.
It's only revealed to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay that that other people don't see that. However, what you need is people around you that Will Smith said this before, and I like this, that fan your flames.
Mm.
So as long, and like you said, that can be met in person.
Right.
Why? Because they were able to resonate with what, you know, with your story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important, and this is one reason for our podcast, because stories are what people need to hear to be able to connect
Mm-hmm.
and to understand there's someone else that's going through a similar situation,
Mm-hmm.
and what they've gone through. You may even have similar paths. So in order to help overcome certain barriers and certain trials and tribulations, in order to get through, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have to see that there is someone else out there that is going through this similar situation, and someone else who may have already even overcome it.
Overcame. Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That way they can
Give them
say
hope.
it gives them hope. And you know that we were recently talking intricately about faith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we will hope for things. However, we need to have faith.
Faith. Yes. Yes. Enlighten
Mm.
them on that. You
Oh
want to,
yes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the podcast, both of our podcasts get pretty deep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's what's necessary.
Yes.
They have a healing component to them. Yes, part of mine can come from a more formal perspective because of my formal education. However, it does not denote whatsoever anything that you are putting out there on your podcast, because you are bringing experience. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you are bringing, uh, you know, different, different a testimony, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
from different trials and that you've gone through. Anything that that you are suffering through now, such as chronic pain, or been through in the past and have overcome, or something that you're still struggling with, because you're willing to be very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because that is what helps people. Okay.
Exactly.
And it's even doing that, it's even your therapy.
It really is because I've said from the beginning that my Facebook page is a ministry. Um, God gave me this vision over 13 years ago. I wouldn't even have a Facebook page if it wasn't for this ministry. And people will say, well, you're putting all your business on Facebook. No, I'm not. I got a whole life outside of Facebook. It seems like I'm putting all my business on Facebook. I'm being obedient to the spirit. Um, I'm being obedient to the spirit to um my Facebook. Do we need to do this? Is I get something drops into my spirit and I have to argue with God sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie. Be battling because sometimes I feel like it's too much to put out there. But at the same time, um there's a reason behind why he says that this needs to be revealed, and until I put it out there the way it dropped in my spirit, nothing goes right. I mean, nothing will go right. And as soon as I'm obedient to what was dropped into my spirit and put it out there the way, because me and God, you sure I got to put it out there like that? I mean, that's a lot of information, and and it basically process for me as well, because number one, I'm a nurturer. And to know that I've helped someone overcome, to know that my life experiences has helped someone else get over a hump, for me to be able to share that, yeah, I do suffer through depression. Being a chronic pain sufferer, I hurt all the time, even when I look like I'm not hurting. I'm hurting right now. Tyese can tell you. I just had some from heck a couple of minutes ago. But I try not to let it overtake my life. So I try to teach my coping skills. I try to teach, um, I try to show through example. Like every day before I get up, I ask God to let my life be a walking testimony of Him. Let people see Him in and through me, my actions, my deeds, my words. And if anything that I am doing or not doing is not pleasing to Him, to correct me in the spirit and in real time. So it's definitely, these podcasts serve a purpose. Tyese invited me onto her podcast back in like November or December, and we were talking about my makeup ministry. I am a makeup artist, by the way. Let me get that plug in. I am a makeup artist, and I am currently accepting clients. So if you want to book me, you can go to God's Brat and Her Paint. That's with two T's, God's Brat and Her Paint at gmail.com. Or you can inbox me. You can put a message under one of my posts. I'm online all the time. Put a message under one of my posts. Um, I have true testimonials from different people that I've done their makeup on them. And one thing about me is that I like to enhance your beauty, not transform you into another person. Um, I loved when my girlfriend Trisha, I did her makeup for an event, and she had a nice sparkly look, and she was like, my skin feels like skin. Yeah, you're not supposed to morph into someone totally different. Or at least that's my take on it. Now, if that's your take, that's another thing. Makeup is individual. So if that's your thing, I'm not knocking you, because we can all look how we want to look. Um, Basically, with me, I love color, but I realize that most of my audience or most of my clients are more conservative. So yes, I can do the conservative looks, and you've noticed that recently I've been doing more conservative looks, with the exception because I was on someone else's podcast earlier today, and that podcast will be airing on. And I'll definitely link you guys to that once it shows. But my girlfriends, Lynn and Leslie Streeter, and Lynn Childress now, and Leslie Streeter, I was on their podcast, and they're also schoolmates of ours. And it's definitely been a treat to be able to do faces. I do faces because what got me started on doing it on other people is my girlfriend said to me, you have this natural knack of making people feel good. And what if you were beating their face while you were doing what you naturally do? And she was like, I don't know what you need to do, what you feel you need to do, whether you need to go get a certification, whether you need to go in your prayer closet, whatever you need to do it. She said, because you're wasting your God given talents. And when she said that to me, I was like, wow. You need the link again? Oh, okay.
You can just
You
just
it's not showing you. Oh, there you go. Okay. Um, so it's like she said, you're not using your God-given talents. And I was like, wow, she really spoke to me there. I was unwilling at one point to share my makeup with other people, or do it on other people, because unfortunately, and I hate to say it, some women can steal your joy. And this is my passion. And I didn't want anyone to diminish my love for what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's got you in a still mode. Give me 1 second. This is just one of those issues we were talking about. Try hitting the link again. Bear with. And this is just one of those things. This is an informal podcast. We're just shooting the breeze. Okay. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Hey. Let me try. Let me see if I refresh my screen, if that's going to do anything. I hope it doesn't mess up. Changes you may not be saved. If it cuts off, it just cuts off. But we're still on Facebook Live, I believe. Oh, no, we're not. It just cut off. I don't know what happened there, because it had you there, but it has been still mode.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all that.
Okay. So where are you? Well, at least we see we can bring up multiple windows. I don't know. So we'll just do this for now. I'll turn my camera so you can be seen. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, we just wanted to come live and see, it's saying this one, but it's not giving me any option to do anything different. Edit name. Save. Okay. Guess what? That's a small thing. We'll figure it out by the next time, though. Hey, hey, devil, you will not win. So, Tyese, we can, I guess, get ready to close this out. Is there anything that you, any other information that you'd like to give our audience, or because we've been live on Facebook the entire time, but any other things that you'd like to say to the audience before we end the podcast tonight? Because Derek will not kill me for keeping you out all night. Yeah,
That's
that's
entrepreneurial life right there.
Amen. 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 We do have to do.
That's right. I just want to say that, for people to, gain some insight and perspective on different mental health challenges that they may have, It can some form of a PTSD. It can be anxiety, depression. It can be even it doesn't even have to be a major trauma, but it can be something like uh, people pleaser, not enough self esteem, not enough self confidence. All of these things actually get
covered
both
between both
podcasts.
podcasts.
So,
So,
log on
your
your
Wednesdays at 7
Wednesdays at 7
p.m.
p.m.
And
And
now
now
I
I
have
have
transitioned
transitioned
from
from
from one network.
one network.
Actually, I
Actually,
am
I am
doing a
doing
hybrid
a
where
hybrid where
I will
uh,
be continuing to actually start rather recording live, doing live
doing live
streams.
streams.
Those live streams will
Those live
also be
streams will
uploaded
also be
to
up.
YouTube. YouTube does have a podcast component now. Haven't been They haven't had it very long. It's been a little less than a year about. And but then as well, I will be the having the shows uploaded to a
Uploaded to
radio network. I'm so
um,
happy for you. Thank you. I'm
yeah,
collaborating with,
collaborating.
and that's WMEG. Okay, and that radio network is owned by DJ Rock Nice, my friend Devon. So yeah, so that's another avenue, and there's some captive listeners and a broad audience there. So hopefully, well, I'm not gonna say hopefully. I'm gonna have the confidence that
The confidence that
that my show
that
pays,
my show
that
pays.
my show
Yes,
only
that my
brings
show
value.
only brings value.
So, exactly.
I'm
So happy for you.
and I'm
Thank
so
you.
very
And I'm
proud.
so of you. Tyese is already a published author of a book of poetry.
She also is in the
She
works
also is
with
in the
other
works with
books.
two other
So
books.
remember the
So
name
remember the name
Tyese
Tyese
because
Woodson
I had
because I
all
had that this right here is only the beginning
for both of
Mhm.
us.
of us.
I don't know
I don't
where
know
this road is
where
going to
this
lead
road
me,
is going to lead me,
but in my
but
spirit,
in
I
my spirit,
feel
I
that it's leading
feel that
somewhere.
it's
That's why I feel like
the enemy tries to attack with all of the
technical issues and
technical
trying
issues
to make me give up or get frustrated or whatever. And that's why I keep pushing on because when you're attacked so often, most times your breakthrough is right around the corner if you can
Mhm.
just hold
Mhm.
on. So for those people going through, seems like you just keep getting one punch after the other
Gut punch.
hold on, my brother.
That's right.
Hold on, my sister. Because your breakthrough is
Your
around.
breakthrough is around the
Be
corner.
strong.
Be
Stay prayed up.
strong. Stay prayed up.
Stay prayed up. Life
Stay
is
prayed
a
up.
matter
Life
of
is a
peace
matter of
and valleys.
peaks and
You may be in
valleys.
the
You
valley,
may be in the valley
but
now,
trouble don't last.
but trouble don't last
Mhm.
always.
Remember that
Remember
trouble
that
don't last
trouble don't
always.
last
And that's
always.
something my
And that's
grandmother
something my grandmother, you didn't understand it back then, but goodness gracious, do I understand it now?
right,
You
right.
know? So with that, I'm gonna say, as you go about your day, and if you see a queen with her crown
A little bit
and it's
twisted.
a little bit
Do whatever
twisted,
you can to
do
help
whatever you can to help
straighten
that
her crown
sister
back
straighten
up.
her crown back
And
up.
if for some reason her crown has fallen off, been knocked off, been stolen, the old me would have told you how to whip that person's tail, but I'm refined now. I had to put that in there. But help her do whatever you can to replace that crown. Help whether you have to loan her one of yours, whether you have to buy her another one if you have a few extra coins, whatever the case may be. But whatever you've done to help that sister get her crown back on her head, please don't feel the need to put that woman's business in the streets.
Mm,
Okay? If she wants somebody to know, let her tell her story.
her
Let
story.
her
Let her
testimony.
tell her
Don't go
testimony.
out there
Don't go out
gossiping
there
about somebody
gossiping
else's
about
business
somebody else's
because
business
you never know
because
when
you
it'll
never
be
know
your
when
turn
it'll
and
be
you need
your
someone to
turn
help
when you
you
need
fix your
someone to help
crown.
you fix your
Mhm. And
crown.
you will want them to keep
And you
your
will want them to
confidence.
keep your
So with
confidence.
that, I'm gonna
Say peace. And Marjorie, one of my people that I had on my podcast of INSA Creations, which is an African American Black owned business, African American, of course, owned business, and she sells African wear, African garbs. But she taught me, and she goes to Ghana. Look her up. N
say
NSAA Creations.
Donna.
She goes every year March, and she sponsors trips. So if you've ever thought about going to Africa, see how we networking here.
Mhm.
If you've ever
About
thought about going to Africa,
be someone that
she
you
would be
connect with.
someone that you can connect with.
But he taught
But
me that
she taught me the enemy separates, we unify. So peace and blessings. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We'll see you soon.
see you soon.